evidence that alluvial gold is being smuggled out of Papua New Guinea was first publicly presented by Justin Parker at the K1.5 conference in July 2024. Subsequent revelations suggest the country may be forfeiting hundreds of millions of kina each year in lost foreign exchange earnings and related benefits due to this illicit trade. To examine the issue in depth, the Special Parliamentary Committee on Public Service, chaired by Honorable Gary Juffa and deputized by Honorable Alan Bird, has convened hearings with expert support from Dr. Kevin Telmer. The recordings that follow document their inquiry into the scale of leakage, the mechanisms enabling smuggling, and the reforms needed to protect PNG's revenues and communities.
We've got intelligence here that gives us a very frightening figure from the data given by MRA, by the way, and comparing that with imports from PNG, as reported to international trade data on UN Comtrade. Incredible statistics. And that data tells us, as an example, I'll just take 2 years. In 2021, 2.8 tons of gold were smuggled from PNG in 2021. In 2022, 2.3 tons of gold were smuggled from PNG. Very frightening statistics. What's happening?
So the data that my colleague Sean Bloor and I have compiled really leaves no room for doubt. PNG's gold sector is facing a crisis, and it's driven by sophisticated illegal acts. So we found these we decided to present to you 4 very clear lines of evidence of gold smuggling. The first line of evidence we've already heard about. Basically, you have falling exports exactly when the gold price is rising, and the level of activity that you see in the field is rising. And I think we have some graphics if you want to show them. Well, there's the rising gold price is this blue line. And remarkably, you see the falling export level of gold. That's alluvial gold from PNG. But let's have the next slide. So what you're seeing here is the blue line is the rising price. Yellow lines are the falling exports. And then here's a remarkable piece of evidence that we haven't discussed yet. The orange bars, the largest bars, the orange bars, are the records, the formal records of import of alluvial gold to other countries. So the MRA is publishing the exports, the yellow bars, and the rest of the world, several countries in particular, that fill out customs importation records through a database that's it's called the Comtrade database, are recording their imports from PNG, and you can see there's a massive difference. So the orange bars are what is actually being received by these foreign countries, and the yellow bars are what's being recorded as export. And the only answer to how that's possible is that what's been circled in red there is smuggled gold. And you can see, for example, in 2023, the amount of smuggled gold is double. It's more than what's actually being declared as produced.
Given that we are losing $300 million a year, which is about 1.5 billion kina, based on the information that you supplied, and if we are losing 1.5 billion kina every year for the last 4 years, that's already 6 billion kina we've lost as a country to these people. I personally would like to see some serious actions in protecting our people, our landowners, protecting yourselves, because you don't have the capacity to deal with it. None of you have the capacity to deal with it at the moment. So would you go so far as to recommend to this committee to say, ban every single person that's coming from this particular province? We work with the government of that country to help us, and we get rid of every single one of them. If we have to take the same decision that West Africa did, they've already set the precedent. So if we are going to do it, it's nothing new. Our people are unprotected right now. For the last 4 years, we haven't been able to protect our people. We haven't been able to close our borders. We haven't been able to stop $300 million worth of gold from somehow just miraculously disappearing from our country. So, would it be a recommendation? I know you are focused in the mining area. I'm more interested in the bigger picture. We can't do anything right now, and I want to take a shortcut to solve the problem. Would it be a recommendation that, first of all, and I know that immigration is not here, and I know that the labor department is not here, as the chairman has said. Would it be a recommendation then to, first of all, refuse all permits, all entry permits from anyone from this particular province, from this country? Two, to start rescinding all the employment permits and entry permits for all of these people from this particular country, from this particular province. Now, you to save our country, to save our resources, and to save our people. What would you say to that, Mr. Nectar?
On Governor, what I would say is that, people that come into the country should have a purpose to be here, and purpose has to be genuine. They got to obtain proper permits and that to be in the country.
No, let me understand. But you sabe pinis lo tok blow you yet. Or some you sabe or some this law main troublemakers you sabe pinis lo. You yet you talk. Lo neck blow you. So me kiss him neck blow you, na me like ask him. You was man walk blow you, walk blow me. Walk blow me law. Support him you also government country na talk walk him. So me come back lo you now. You sabe pinis lo this law binatang no good here. You sabe pinis. You mean no call him name blow straight, but you sabe pinis. How about me ban symbol people blow me? Resources blow me, country blow me. How about me make it?
I would say, lawbreakers are not invited in this country. They got to go. They got to go. You break the law, you're not a, genuine, person to be in this country if you're not from here, if you're from overseas. So you break the law, you got to go. You don't need to stay here anymore. You got to go. You got to make sure that you get out of here.
From our very brief discussions here, first and foremost to the audience, to the people of Papua New Guinea, this is just the beginning of this journey. We have a long way to go yet. But we're going to be effective in delivering recommendations that we believe need to be taken up immediately. Members of this committee here are very serious about their work, and we expect that level of seriousness from those who also attend. MRA, it's obvious that there's a lot of work yet to be done. Your organization needs a serious restructuring. That's from my own experience, I can just see that straight away. It does not appear to have enforcement and prosecutorial capabilities. That's very important. You need to develop that immediately. These are your teeth that are supposed to be out there protecting the interests of Papua New Guineans, and we feel that you have not adequately developed them. It's the same with many authorities in the country, actually, that are charged with the responsibility of regulating and enforcing laws to protect PNG interests for, say, forestry, fisheries, MRA, minerals. And as pointed out by members here, the gates are wide open. We have all manner of characters coming to this country, most of whom are not genuine taxpayers, most of whom are not here to do what is right by our laws. And it's because we let them. It's because we let them. We're responsible. We're at the gates, we're at the doorway, and we're letting them come in here and do this to our people. Shame on us.